How do you think it is a good thing and a just thing to try to ruin someone's career and take away their livelihood over words that are typed on social media? Again, that question terrifies me. There is just such a gap. People think that the internet is like a video game, that they can go home and say whatever they want over social media and then get back to real life, which is why he's using this word livelihood. That is not the case. You are affecting somebody's livelihood with your words. When you log on the internet and you tell someone that they are disgusting, that they are ugly, that they don't deserve to live, that they are fat, you are affecting that person's livelihood. You are making that person sad. You're making that person depressed. The internet is a real thing, and just because you're typing it does not make your words any less real. What you type on the internet is a part of your livelihood, and we stand by that and we stand firm on that. So I'm big on fat. So there is, definitely a following for being openly fat. Lizzo is fat. Really? That's all I'm gonna say is really. I don't really understand how far we're gonna take this inclusivity thing. If people that are in wheelchairs were thinking as they were looking around, like, you know what really upsets me? That I've never seen a bra and underwear advertised with a girl in a wheelchair. Why did they do this? I don't know. I don't know why this needed to be done. I'm just getting tired of this all inclusivity thing. It seems ridiculous. I mean, we're going to be on crutches and be like, well, how come we don't have a girl that's broken her leg on crutches also in a bra and underwear? I don't feel included. I don't know. I don't think I can buy panties. I just can't buy panties because I don't know. I don't feel included.
Well, let's include Candace Owens for our Christmas plans, because it is a brilliant time to be alive, to see the hypocrisy, to see the lies that people tell themselves and others when it comes to moral standards, scruples, and all of those things. The first video you watched is something that Candace said herself, not us, and she has since said that she has not regretted her stance on what she thought was that video. So before we start today's video, I want to give a shout out to Glam Goddess, who gave me this wonderful idea. And she said, the opening video, use that video every day, one Lizzo, and play a video of Candace Owens criticizing Lizzo. Day 2, same opening video, Candace Owens saying horrible things about another person, Taylor Swift. With Candace Owens, you can literally have content for a whole entire 30 days. Thank you, Glam Goddess. Oof, I love that. Because that is exactly something I vibed with. And I had to reply to her, I love this idea too much. We will have a bonanza with that idea. Please drop the list of everyone you would like me to start with. And please, as the videos proceed, if you find any, you see any, please send me a link. You can send me a tip at tipsnemo@gmail.com or write me on any of my social medias. I always link them in the description of my videos. So I really love that idea because Candace Owens is the queen of take actions. Actions have responsibilities. Words on the internet have consequences. You cannot just, well, you heard her. I don't have to keep repeating this shit. So let me just explain to us why Candace Owens was not only being extremely disgusting, the way she spoke about Lizzo and another lady, Samira, when she came online talking to them all smack as if she is the queen of how human body should behave distinctively, and she knows the maths, the history, the geography, the biology of it all, and she knows exactly the facts. Meanwhile, she showed how ignorant she is about it. The truth is this: calling someone fat, especially online, can be a serious emotional, social, and real life. They can have consequences for that. Even if you don't know anything, okay, especially when you have no iota of their medical conditions, hormonal issues, mental health struggles, grief or trauma, eating disorders, financial challenges, personal challenges, moral and emotional traumas. You have no iota of them. You come online and you talk to them in that manner. I don't have a problem with you complaining about someone's behavior, things they have control over. Not things you don't know how much control they have over. You have no iota of it. And if she had an idea what biology is, how biology works, how human life works, she would understand that you cannot talk about the consequences of how someone's human body is and what choices are. I am not talking about the individuals who go above and beyond to make themselves look a certain way because of certain circumstances. I'm talking of natural human body phenomena that we have no way of choosing it. Sometimes because of stress in our life, we go through things and you have no idea the stress, the anxiety, the depression, the social isolation you cause when you come online and you talk about someone like that, the mental health implications, you have no idea what they're going through. And the worst part is this: when you talk about someone like that, when there are youths, there are many teenagers who are still discovering themselves, who are still finding themselves. They've not found an idea of who they are. And they hear you talk about someone else like that. They start asking themselves, that means something is wrong with me. You have just added more pounds of stress onto that young person who has no idea who they are. And sometimes we still have these individuals that they are spoken about in such poor manner. They come out and they really educate individuals like Candace Owens sometimes, but unfortunately that initial gra has already stuck in their head, and they are having so many things to dismantle at that moment, which is why such rhetoric is so disgusting for someone who's such a huge platform to be putting out there. And the other thing I noticed, someone on her Twitter page saying that, oh, she has 7.4 million followers, 5.7 on Insta, or is it YouTube? This on Instagram, that on that and that. Who are you to talk about it? And I laughed so hard because it is so sad that we live now in a society where people's Instagram, Twitter followers determine if they are specialists or smart to give us advice on topics. And it is such a sad day to come to conclusion with, because we now have individuals who are told that if someone has a huge following, you should trust that people over someone who is a professional, who has the knowledge, the true knowledge to educate you, to inspire, to let you know on the real of topics. Which is why in the normal good old days, everybody had a speciality. Yeah, we always had people who were jack of all trades or jack of many trades, but those were individuals who had the ability to learn at least basic knowledge of those things they want to talk to others about and have an idea of it. And those were always individuals who are willing to learn. The truth is this: most of the biggest academia, people of great academia, are individuals who are always willing to change their mind, learn a new idea, and also see from another perspective, even if they don't agree with it. You understand that? But these days we have individuals, because they have a following, they think that they are now the real to tell you what is happening in your life and how you should be. If you are not like that, them, oh Lord. And she knew all of this when she wanted to create a social autopsy website to dox individuals who she said come online to talk to someone smart, someone who comes online and calls someone fat, calls someone stupid, talk to them so terribly. It causes them depression. She knew that. But that has not stopped Candace, has it? Now, the first person I want to illustrate in this video, I know she has done these two individual things to too many people. In this particular video, we're going to examine Candace Owens coming for one, people of plus size, and two, people with disabilities. And forgive me if I say something out of turn, it is not intentional. It is probably because I'm not properly educated on the subject matter, or because I just spoke ignorantly. So please, before I say anything, I would like to put that disclaimer out there, because honestly, I will not want to say anything that hurts anyone's feelings. But here is the thing. Candace Owens has thoughts on Lizzo. One thing we know is Candace Owens has a lot of thoughts on Lizzo. And to be fair to Candace Owens has always said she likes Lizzo's music, but she hates some Lizzo's behavior. But now here is the problem. She always sounds as if what Lizzo does It's disgusting to her, not because it is disgusting on the character of itself, but because Lizzo is fat, as the way she puts it. She says, oh, she shouldn't wear a thong, which I agree with as well. That video of Lizzo shaking her ass in a thong, that was completely off for me. Like, I didn't see the reason. What was the reason for it? I wish I could have that video of the meme. I think that was Cardi B when she was still in her show days. What was the reason for that? What was the reason? I wish I could find. If I find it, I'll insert it, and you don't have to hear my rambling. If I don't find it, forgive me. You insert it in your mind why I'm saying this. What was the reason for that, Lizzo? Now, and it's the same thing when she talks about the person who did an advert for Kim Kardashian for Skims. She sounded disgusted to the idea that someone who is disabled was doing an ad campaign for panties and underwear. And this is the sad thing, and it is something that is reoccurring with Candace Owens' rhetoric. If she had done the slightest, smallest investigation, or let's say background looking into that ad campaign, if she did not just read the headline and then can't come to her show when she was on the Daily Wire, same like she does today, and run with it, she would have understood that that particular campaign was a campaign that was made for underwears for individuals with disability, because the panties have an opening at the back, at the sides, and the bras, usually most of them fitted in the front, which was easier for them to wear. She would have understood that, and she would have known the raison d'etre for that art campaign. But well, reason be damned, because in Candace Owens' world, she just wants to show up online and say some bad rat hood shit. She always said it herself, say some rat hood shit with her rat hood friends. And the real reason, the truth behind it, be damned. I don't like Kim Kardashian for most of her reasons most people will see. Morally, she is a person of questionable character for me. But that art campaign was not one of the things you should be criticizing Kim Kardashian for. She has a couple of things you could criticize her for, a lot of things. But that art campaign was actually not one of them, because actually someone who understood the plight, who really did a slight investigation into that art campaign would have, oh, that's true. How come we don't have panties like people made aware enough, or made the companies made aware enough to know that, hey, we need to make more panties for individuals who are disabled. Not everyone can lift their two legs up left and right and wear a panty. It should be easier if they have a panty where they could lift their ass up, slide it in and button it on the sides, or just patch it on the sides, but she did not care about looking into what the ad campaign was for, why it was important, and why Kim Kardashian used the person she used. But she just wanted to show up on the internet and speak some rude shit, or bad rude shit with her bad rude friends. Now, I am going to play a video first of her talking about Lizzo. Like I've said, there are things you can criticize Lizzo for. Yes, being inappropriately dressed, sometimes it's one of Lizzo's problems in the world. But it is general with Hollywood. It's not just Lizzo. Taylor Swift does it. Okay? She complains about Lizzo taking a photo shoot naked. Yes, the problem shouldn't be that she took a photo shoot naked because she's fat. It should be that these Hollywood stars taking photos naked, because that should be the problem. As a conservative woman, of her having that as part of her raison, being a conservative woman is totally understandable, and she's within her rights to say, I don't want women, our young girls out here in these streets, putting themselves naked on the internet. I would like them to conserve themselves, to be conservative, to dress up properly, to dress conservatively. It is within her rights, within her moral rules and what she stands for to do so, which is why I found it extremely upsetting when she was defending someone like Andrew Tate or Kenya West, because she doesn't like people dressing as hood rat, as she calls it. She bashes from what the other one, what's her name? Red Horse, Red something. She's a rapper. The lady who is always wearing red something. I think her name is Red something. She's a rapper. Red sauce? I'm sorry. I'll look for a picture and put. Candace Owens has been known to talk on someone like the Red Sauce rapper, talk on Lizzo, talk on Cardi B for their indecency in the entertainment, and it is within her right. I totally understand, and I like that because she is a conservative woman and she wants to uphold standards with girls. She wants young girls to conserve their bodies. It is her within the rights of her belief. But the problem I have with her is when she doesn't stand on that damn business. Because when she flips to someone like Kanye West, who was parading his wife out here in the streets, right to red carpets naked, she had no words for those, okay? She had no words for those. When it came to someone like Andrew Tate, who was not only accused of crimes, but there are videos of him online talking about all the derogatory of that guy. Ooh, Lord, help me, God. I don't know how Candace Owens fixed the left side of her mouth to criticize Cardi B and use the right side of her mouth to praise Andrew Tate. But that is the world we live in. For example, someone who says, I'm a liberal person, I like to have my tits, my boobies in the streets. If that person keeps that thing consistent, you see, yeah, this is the person, this is what they do. I would do. Someone like Cardi B. Cardi B has never told you she wants to dress decent. She has never lied about it. So what I will have a problem with is if Cardi B shows up someday and starts saying, oh, I don't like to dress decently, but I want that girl there to dress decently. Huh? Cardi, you taught them not to dress decently. So that's when I'll have a problem. Cardi B has never gotten up and is complaining about anybody who is dressing decently. So my problem is, Candice, you cannot have one thing is good for the goose and is not good for the gander. Darling, if you think indecency is indecency, you should be able to also talk about indecency when it comes to your friend and dragging his wife naked around. You should also be able to talk about Andrew Tate, who has all these videos on. It's not something from a theories. It's not a conspiracy theory. Andrew Tate is actually suing Twitter, some people on Twitter who were exposing the truth about him. Because why? If those were lies, all he needed to do is, yeah, when they go to court, they can prove it, right? But those are videos of him saying what he does. So how do you sue someone for playing a video of you using your own words to say what you do to women? That is the kind of hood rat shit Candace Owens backs up when she turns on the other left side of her mouth and says she's a conservative. That is where it messes up with my medulla oblongata. And then I need a doctor to come in and check what's going on here. So I'm going to let the first problem, which was when she came for Lizzo and another lady, Samira. And Samira schooled her, and another person really put this in a very beautiful way. Samira puts in a very beautiful way. And when it came to the person or the lady of the advert for the disabled, another lady really expressed it in a way that I couldn't have. So I just decided I'll play her video in the space of me rambling here. So guys, I want you all to listen to these videos and let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think about all of this? Candace Owens telling us about not insulting people on the internet, and the next minute she is going about it like a hood rat girl.
Ad came up and I just went, really? Are we really doing this? Is this what we needed? Take a look at this. Ready? So it is a SKIMS campaign, and it is a woman that is in a bra and underwear. SKIMS is the undergarment brand that is owned by Kim Kardashian. She's in a bra and underwear, and she's in a wheelchair. She's in a wheelchair, and it says SKIMS, made for everybody, available now. Really? That's all I'm going to say is really. I don't really understand how far we're going to take this inclusivity thing. I really don't get it. I don't know. And if I'm wrong, again, educate me. Today, I just want to be educated in the comments. If people that are in wheelchairs were thinking as they were looking around, like, you know what really upsets me? That I've never seen a bra and underwear advertised with a girl in a wheelchair. Why did they do this? I don't know. I don't know why this needed to be done. I'm just getting tired of this all inclusivity thing. It seems ridiculous. I mean, we're going to be on crutches and be like, well, how come we don't have a girl that's broken her leg on crutches also in a bra and underwear? I don't feel included. I don't know. I don't think I can buy panties. I just can't buy panties because I don't know. I don't feel included. Look, I assumed that people that were in wheelchairs also have to buy bras and have to buy underwear. It's just something that I just assumed that was a thing. I didn't know that we needed to see that in our face. I didn't know that now we're going to have to look forward to campaigns where women that are in wheelchairs are now wearing bras and underwears because we as a society just cannot get to the bottom of our ridiculousness, because that's what it is. We are being ridiculous, America. When I see stuff like this, I just go, whose idea was this? Was it your idea? Okay, you're fired. I'd like to fire the person who was behind this ridiculous campaign.
And this is the thing, like I've said before, Candace lives in a world where if it doesn't affect her, she doesn't see the problem. It's the same like she now says she doesn't live in a racist country. And then she will now want to, when she's caught red-handed with the aspect of what happened to her, which she sued and got 37,500 francs for. She said, oh, you think that's a gotcha moment? The children that did that to me, they were not Aru, they were not aces, they were not these, they were not that, they were my friends. It's because they stopped hung. I'm like, this girl actually loves being bullied. She enjoys her bullies so much. And then when something doesn't affect her, because this is the thing, like I've said before, if she knew the reason for the ad campaign, she would not say what she's saying. Like, what is this for? Who thought this was a good idea? She has no idea. The reason why Fenty by Rihanna, the underwear was a hit worldwide is because she made underwear for women of all sizes. It's the same reason why some makeup brands will become hit because of that. That's why Victoria's Secret went out of the market for a while, because they were only making underwear. Why do you think Victoria's Secret is now making underwear for everyone? They were making underwear before only for size 1, or that was size 0. In fact, size oxygen. You have to be size oxygen to wear their underwear. But when Fenty came and cracked the market and broke everything down, made underwear for everyone, now they want to get into that market. Why? Because not everyone is the same size. Not everyone is size oxygen. People have bodies, different body types, different shapes, different everything. She talks about systemic racism not existing. Meanwhile, there was a time when a woman like her couldn't even sit on a podcast and run her mouth. But because she now lives in a world where she can do it, she thinks everything is now lullaby and lulubai and everybody's living la la land. But that is not the reality of many people's existence. And because she lives in a world where she is slim, thin, and she thinks that every underwear that is made, most of them are made for women of her size, she doesn't see the reason why they should even bother about any other size, any other person with any other problem. Okay, in her existence, that monochrome of existence where she lives in La La Land, Candy Land, the only thing that matters is what matters to Candy, and any other thing is not relevant. And that is so irresponsible of her, because there are several amongst the billions of women on this planet of Earth, many of those women are not size oxygen. And the truth is this: if we were to go by the even Victoria's Secret size oxygen, Candace Owens will not fit, because she has some hips. She has some really nice hips, which means she will not fit the size oxygen we're even talking about. But because she fits the general beautiful fit body size, she thinks everyone should fit that body size for her. And any other body size is not beautiful fit for her. It's not okay. And she doesn't care about whatever happened to you, how you got here, what is going on, what are your needs. She doesn't care about it because she lives fine. She dares sit and say that there is nothing that a white man in America can do that she as a black woman cannot do. Well, lady, one of your friends got into the White House and you never showed up as one of his administration, part of his administration. Meanwhile, you campaign against the opposite party so much that I thought it was a personal beef with Kamala. Okay, please believe me. I was enjoying the drama, but I at the same time I was seeing the saltiness. It was looking salty. And as soon as the white man who got there dropped you and picked his Mar-a-Lago looking women to come and serve along him with his administration, you got salty, because it has, like I've said before, it has nothing to do with change of values. And it's the same thing. On a subject like this, I really can't speak much. I have someone who really had a really beautiful way of putting this together.
I think people in wheelchairs will back me up on this. I think they're on my side. I think they think this is stupid.
So this is Candace testing out eugenics. Hi, my name is Evan. I'm a bioethicist in training, and I am doing my thesis on misinformation, disinformation, and conspiracy theories as a threat to public health. So in 1883, Sir Francis Galton, who was originally known for doing research on monozygotic twins, came up with the concept of eugenics. And in it, he said that there were desirable people and undesirable people. And he strongly felt that the desirable traits of desirable people was genetic and hereditary, that these were immutable and couldn't be changed about someone, and that they weren't things that society should also adjust around. He threw all different characterizations in there, obviously race, anybody who wasn't of English background, but also things that were categorically attached to behavior. So things like being a thief or being, sex worker, any number of things that were also related to like moralized behavior in society. One of the groups that he was very specific about, other than racial groups, was people with disabilities. He was very, very strongly opposed to anybody marrying folks with disabilities, having children. He did not think that this was a population that should procreate, and that if they stopped procreating or they stopped being engaged with, that ultimately they would evanesce from existence because this was all genetic, right? The conceptualization behind eugenics fuels what's later called the ugly laws, and these existed all the way up until like 1974. Now, the first ugly law that can be traced into history was in San Francisco in 1876, so a little before he coins the term eugenics, but not before he introduced the concept in a prior research that he did called the hereditary genius. The ugly laws basically stated that people who were undesirable to look at, either literally the terms were like maimed, mutilated, or disabled, were not allowed to be out, couldn't be around children, couldn't be near schools, couldn't be patrons at restaurants. There was all sorts of different municipalities that had different stipulations for where people with a disability could exist in space. This attitude about not wanting to see people who have a disability persists to this day. And this is what you're seeing with Candace Owens critiquing SKIMS using a person in a wheelchair to model adaptive clothing. What Candace is reintroducing here is the concept of ugly laws, or the concept behind ugly laws in eugenics. She's testing out to see if her audience agrees with her and then would follow her further in that thought. The reason she's probably testing these concepts out is because of the rise of alternative health influencers in the disinformation sphere that have a lot of monetary access, who are very fatphobic and ableist. She's trying to capture more of an audience like this by playing to their interests.
She did not only dismantle the rhetoric Candace Owens was spewing when she spoke about the Lady in the Art campaign the way she did, but she also really dismantled her playbook. And if you watched my video on Candace Owens' media playbook, you will see exactly this idea of her playing into a rhetoric because she attacks people because she knows that it is something that it is going to garner her a certain audience, and that audience plays into the same stereotypes she likes to play into. Sometimes these are things she doesn't believe in, actually. I have watched an interview with her cousin, and that cousin actually showed pictures where the cousin was saying that Candace Owens doesn't believe that people who are in same-sex marriages are sinning or whatever, the way she says that. Candace Owens was one of the people who encouraged her to go ahead with the love because she's a woman who is married to a woman. She's a lesbian. So these are things and concepts that when you look at, you see that Candace Owens is not just here doing things like people think she's doing this like she's not calculative. Candace Owens is calculated. This is something they have laid on the ground and they test it every time with a different group of people. She started by testing with Black people. Black people were a minority group in America that many people could bash and go scot-free. And how do I even put it? What is the special source of having a Black woman bash Black people? I'm not saying that everything she spoke about Black people were wrong. There are certain aspects when she discussed about Black people that we could take into consideration and cognizance and say, yes, this is something we should change about ourselves. But there are many issues also that she was just going in being a batshit girl, like she says, not my words, her words. She and her batshit friend wants to talk batshit things on the internet that she was going in with because she was trying to capture that audience. Anyway, she claims that the people who are disabled are going to agree with her.
And by the way, I think people in wheelchairs will back me up on this. I think they're on my side. I think they think this is stupid. Let's all just agree today on Tuesday to stop. Ad came up and I just went,
no, ma'am. These are the same people. Let them tell you exactly what they feel.
Owens. Candace Owens. I thought a long time before I decided to make this video, but I think you need to be addressed. For you to get on camera and to say, how much more inclusive are we going to get because you don't want to see wheelchair users featured in a beauty campaign or a SKIMS campaign is so disgusting to me that I'm almost like, my God, Candace. You know, once upon a time, inclusivity meant women that looked like you. So you should know firsthand what discrimination feels like. And so for you to face that and then say, you know what? I'm going to question why we're including wheelchair users in a beauty campaign because you don't want to see that. How do you know people want to see you? There's a lot of people that don't want to see you. But yet you keep getting on these platforms and saying what it is that you have to say because you feel like your voice matters and you want your voice to be represented the same way that I want my wheelchair to be represented. Like, what's the problem with that?
It was egregious for someone to say this inclusivity thing has gone too far.
She's in a wheelchair. She's in a wheelchair and it says SKIMS, made for everybody. That's all I'm going to say is really, I don't really understand how far we're going to take this inclusivity thing. I really don't get it. I don't know. And if I'm wrong, again, educate me. Say I just want to be educated in the content.
Hi, Candace. My name is Taylor. I am a full-time wheelchair user, and since you are asking to be educated, here I am, happy to educate. Everything you just said is completely ableist, and here's why.
Especially being a Black woman in America on TV, without inclusivity, she would not be in the position that she is. And so I did my research to make sure that I watched the full video, and she did say what she said with her full chest. So I couldn't help but stick up for my community. And although I was nervous because her audience can be very polarizing, I knew that what I was saying was right and that I needed to say something. And I'm very happy that the response has been overwhelming, millions of views, and just a really positive response. And even some of her followers saying, hey, you know what? I used to support her, but this has gone too far.
Goals, basic bitch goals, like needing to see yourself in an underwear campaign to know that you can wear underwear. Representation, here you go, ready? Hear me out, does not matter.
Hey, Candace, I'm an individual with a disability and I don't need that ad to know that I can wear underwear. Actually, the model was modeling underwear that was made for individuals with disabilities. They snap on the side and the bra fastens in the front. So she was modeling something that was actually made for her. Also, I don't think it's fair for you to determine that someone else's goals are basic simply because no one called your goals basic when you said this.
What are you hoping could change as a result of this whole conversation?
Being able to have the conversation, I mean, for so long, Black conservatives have not been able to have a voice. They've been ignored. Basic bitch goal.
It really upsets me that I've never seen a bra and underwear advertised with a girl in a wheelchair.
If you haven't seen that whole video, go check it out. Candace Owens, I don't know who pissed in your Cheerios, but let me tell you, for a brand to be inclusive, I don't know why you would even have an issue with that. For SKIMS to have a line that's directly tailored for people in wheelchairs, how does that affect you? How does that affect you? I just don't really understand. For somebody that actually now has now a disability, I lost my eye in a car accident a year and a half ago. So somebody that was completely normal but now has a disability, I will tell you, I don't see people being advertised. I don't see things from brands with faces like me on advertisements. So for a brand to have somebody in a wheelchair with a disability, that's huge. Why would you ever tear that down? It's just blowing my mind. I have so many parents on here that talk about, Hannah, thank you so much for making content because I have children that look up to you because they don't see anyone else that looks like them. Think about the kids that are in wheelchairs and now they see a brand that has catering for them. Think about it. You have this huge platform and the one thing you want to do is tear something down. I'm just kind of mind blown right now that you would hit somebody with like disabilities and then you would tear down a brand because they're being inclusive. it is about time that brands start being inclusive. I know this isn't my normal content, but I had to speak on this. Candace Owens, I think you need to do some
Okay, because the video is getting really long, I'm going to let the lady Samira, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. I apologize if I mess it up. Samira. I'm going to let Samira and the others talk to Candace Owens about her fatphobic behaviors or tendencies.
So I'm big on fat shaming. Now, of course, this movement of fat acceptance is all across social media. And there is this woman who is, I guess, a fat representative. Her name is Samira Miller. She's got 1.5 million followers, by the way. So there is, definitely a following for being openly fat. And
Candace, if you're going to try to degrade me, at least say my name correctly. Samira. You know, I watched your whole 6-minute, 23-second violent discriminatory rampage toward me and other fat people. And all I have to say is, I feel sorry for you. But I mean, I feel sorry for anyone whose sense of self-worth is found in a relentless pursuit of proximity to whiteness. But Candace, this message is not for you. This message is for Congress. This message is for our federal lawmakers. Fatphobia is real. Discrimination based on weight is real. It should be illegal. It should be criminalized. And Candace Owens is just one example. But fatphobia, it permeates every single structure of our society. Healthcare, education, entertainment, just to name a few. And it also lies at the intersection of other identities that are already federally protected from hate and bias. So why aren't fat bodies protected? Well, it's because it will require you lawmakers to face your own fatphobia, to unlearn your own fatphobia. And I guarantee if any of you spent just even 1 minute to understand the racist, sexist, classist, ableist history of the BMI, of other fat politics, you would understand why fat people need protection. So if you truly care about human rights, about protecting people from hate and bias, then you would understand why fatphobia should be illegal.
I'm big on fat shaming. Now, of course, this movement of fat acceptance is all across social.
Let's get one thing straight. You should never feel ashamed about your body, even if Candace Owens thinks you should. Now, I know she's just trolling for views and clickbaiting people with her videos, but Candace Owens is spreading some serious harmful rhetoric, and she needs to be stopped. She thinks we should openly fat shame people until they feel bad enough that they lose weight, all while being veiled as a concern for people's health. Candace, if you actually cared about people's health, you wouldn't spew absolutely ridiculous ideas like that. Eating disorders are among the deadliest mental illnesses, and they result in over 10,000 deaths every year. When Candace says she's promoting fat shaming, what she's actually saying is that she's promoting self-hatred and self-harm. I really thought we were done with the whole fat shaming thing in 2023, but I guess not. If you're over Candace's clickbaiting, hate-filled videos, sign the petition now.
Do you think that you could get Black people to actually just call themselves the N-word? Lizzo is fat. Do you think that we could get her to be proud of being fat and to tell other people that they should be proud to be fat? Let's give Cardi B a Grammy. She barely even speaks English. I know, she just makes noises. What if we gave her a bunch of followers and promoted her and had her further denigrate the language, tell people to be proud that they're ghettos? That's what's happening. Somehow, the people that I have to hope are playing the biggest prank on Black America have trained us to say the N-word, to celebrate obesity, to celebrate our lack of education by giving us a bunch of false idols, have trained us to think that gang banging is cool, right? It's in the music. It is now in the music that kids are putting in their ears when they put on a pair of headphones.
Well, like you've heard. And to be fair, like I've said before, there are some good points Candace Owens brings up sometimes on certain issues. But when she comes online and calls someone a certain way, talks about someone because of their skin type, their body type, or because they are disabled in that way, that is the kind of thing that you say this person is being very, very irresponsible with the platform and the popularity they have gained. And that is why we need to constantly look at these things and remind ourselves that because someone is popular does not mean that they are right all the time. And I always say, yes, even someone you don't like, someone you don't care for, once in a while they'll bring up good points. And even someone you love so much, once in a while they will make errors, they will say something off the rail, and it is our responsibility, as especially those you like, to say, hey, I like you, but you see this thing you just said here, this is wrong, this is not okay, this is like this, and it helps them grow. Yes, I know there are individuals who always say no matter what they say they think it is perfect and perfect like that, but when you tell them those things, when they sleep on their beds, when their real thoughts are meeting them, not the social media gra, at that point they are thinking and they are remembering that that social media gra is not going to help them here, and they are feeling in their inner bones, their conscience sleeps with them, their hearts sleeps with them, and they realize it even if they never admit it to the public that what they said is wrong. And you will see them the next time they talk about that same subject, they will pivot. Somehow they will be lighter on it, or they will say it in a way that you will look at it and you say, oh, maybe this person might have learned a lesson if you're more careful to observe them. That is why we need to constantly do this. Well, this one is running up to maybe an hour already, and I would not like to keep you all here for too long. Please give me recommendations of who we should add in this Christmas bonanza, where we are putting Candace Owens against her own words, where she said you can't come on the internet and call people fat, and the next minute she's calling people fat, calling people disabled, saying that it was such a ridiculous idea for someone who is disabled to be part of an art campaign that is for disabled individuals in the underwears, which is just definitely in the point. But, well, leave it to Candace to be confused. So, until next time, thank you all for coming to the end of this. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my social media, and you can see that I'm a real person, because some of you think I'm a bot. On my Instagram, my TikTok, I'm sure you'll find me there, full videos, and I'm talking there physically with my face. So you will know that I'm not a bot. I don't know why people think I'm a bot with this hard African accent, like some of them always put in the comment section. Do you people think bots have been made with African accents? I'm not sure. So when they do that, then you guys can tell us we're bots. But for now, we're not. All right. Until next time. Bye.